through Instagram.
We're Hassani and Danielle Pettiford, and we're a real couple with real problems who almost called it quits.
I was very frustrated. I became very disconnected, very jaded and cold.
We have 4 children, going on 20 years of marriage, and we practice what we preach.
Our mission, to change the way couples relate to one another and teach them the skills needed to improve the quality of their relationships. This is the Couples Academy Show.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Couples Academy Show. You know my name. Hopefully you know my face. I'm Hassani, co-founder of Couples Academy, and I'm alone today, all by myself. But I think we'll be able to get through it. Welcome, everyone. Wherever you're dialing in from, we want to know who you are, what city, what state, what country you represent, because you are an extended member of this family. And every day we come to really have a conversation about love, life, and relationships and what we need to do to enhance them and take them to another level. We are going to go back. A few days ago, I think I was out of state in New Jersey. We were talking about anger, you know, the betrayed spouse, and how I'm so angry at my partner. And I said that we would do a part 2, and here it is today, the betrayed spouse, what to do with my anger. Like, I've been in this space, I've been struggling with this thing for a minute now, and I don't like it. I don't like what it does to me. I don't like what it does to other people. We need to get beyond this. And so we're going to dive into that. But before we get started, listen, guys, a couple quick announcements. Today is Thursday, which means that tomorrow is the last chance weekend. So once again, just send good energy and prayers to those who will be attending. Many people are coming from a place of hurt, desperation. They are 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They don't know what they want to do. And they're coming to get direction, they're coming to get inspiration, they're coming to get transformation and restoration. So we encourage you to just pray. We believe in the power of prayer. It can do phenomenal things. And if it can work for them, guess what, folks? It can work for you. But it's more than just the prayer. You have to meet prayer with an action, with a step. Faith without works is absolutely dead. So listen, as they do the work this weekend, let it inspire you to do the work in your relationship to get what it is that you ultimately want. Foundry and Unearthed. You still have time, 1 day left to register for Foundry at least. Unearthed is open for a couple more days, and we hope that you take advantage of that. All right, guys, we're going to jump in. What I want to do is give you a little bit of a foundation. Interestingly enough, anger is something that people have as a result of. Anger could be a disposition that you've carried for quite some time, regardless of the recent crisis. So people have different relationships with anger, but in this particular context, we're going to be talking about when something has been done to you and you are seething in anger, what do you do about it? I think it's important to really understand the different levels of anger, because anger doesn't always look the same. Anger manifests itself in a variety of different ways. So I want to share with you something called the anger ladder chart. We're going to quickly go through this. And you can see you start off calm, okay? You feel calm and relaxed. And then all of a sudden you get annoyed, right? And something's bothering you and you become more angry if it doesn't stop. And then that transitions into being upset. You know, I'm really not happy about something. I may also feel disappointed and sad. And then if it's not resolved, I now get frustrated and I'm not getting what I want. I feel uncomfortable and I'm trying to do something, but I feel like giving up. And at some point, I just get angry. I feel very uncomfortable, like it is painful. It is hard to think clearly. I just want to express how I feel. And if it's not dealt with, now I am furious. And my mind is completely angry. I need to express it. I may have to say or do something that can hurt myself or others. And these are the stages, folks. These are the stages that so many people go through. And if they don't know how to monitor or to know what level of anger they are on, or know how to catch it and know what techniques to implement in order to bring them back down to a calm state, they will always be reactive. They will always be explosive. And so therefore, it is critically important that, number one, we recognize what the stages are, what the levels are. Number two, we do something about it. Is this you? Is this where you're at? Are you struggling with anger? Are you struggling with not knowing what to do and how to do it? Well, we're going to walk through a couple steps that I think are going to be critically helpful for you. Number one, this is very important. If you want to control your anger, and I would, first of all, let's back up. Maybe some of you don't, to be quite honest. You're comfortable in your anger. You're comfortable in your rage. You still have a vengeful spirit. You believe that justice has to be served, and you're not ready to move beyond your anger. Right? And if that's you, be honest about it. Because if you're honest about it, at least you know where you're at, right? That's self-awareness. Deep, deep down in your heart, in the recesses of your mind, you're not done yet. And so there's not enough broken, shattered pieces of items around this house. There are not enough scratches on your face. There are not enough, no humble moments that you've had yet. I don't see the change that I'm looking for. So I'm going to use my anger as a weapon and as a form of punishment to give you what I believe that you deserve. This is what we will call those who are trapped in the sufferer marital pattern, where there's bitterness, there's resentment, there's animosity, there is unforgiveness. And until I begin to dive into that, nothing's going to change. So let's go to the first one, because it is don't hold a grudge. It's attached to the forgiveness piece. See, at the end of the day, there's a root to the anger. The anger is nothing more than an outward manifestation of something that's going on the inside. And truth be told, a lot of us struggle with forgiveness. Now, we've had countless conversations about forgiveness and why it's not just something that you extend to someone else, but it's something that you do for yourself. Keep in mind, all of these negative feelings and emotions that you have bottled up within you is probably doing you more harm than the person that you're trying to punish, because you punish in spurts. Even if you punish them daily, right? That's, you're unleashing pain on them, but you're embodying this pain 24 hours a day, and it's contaminating your thoughts, and it's contaminating your feelings, and it's messing with your heart, and it's messing with your mind, and now you begin to vibrate at a negative vibrational frequency that keeps you trapped in the pit of your pain. And because we are magnets, whatever level you're vibrating on, you begin to draw other situations and circumstances into your life that reinforces the anger that you have within you. And the root of it all is unforgiveness. And if you don't know how to do that, just do a search. Just put Couples Academy in the search on YouTube and put in forgiveness, and you'll get all types of things that'll guide you through that process. But you gotta release it. You've got to forgive. You've got to get rid of the grudge, because if you hold on to it, you will hold on to everything that is attached to it. And guess what, folks? It is anger. So let's just say you're past that point. You know what? You've made the decision to forgive. You want to heal. You want to move forward. Let's take you through a few steps. Number one, think before you speak. The Bible is very clear that we need to do that. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and that's the proportion that we need to use it in. Oftentimes, I love how our practitioner, Lakeisha Hines, says it. She used to have a pop-off spirit, and many of you can relate to that. You got a pop-off spirit. You're going to say what's on your mind. If this is what's on my mind, I'm going to say it, and I don't care about the consequences. I'm going to be brutally honest. And so as a result of that, people are hurt, people are attacked, people are made to feel some type of way because you haven't gotten a proper hold and grip on your anger. It just manifests whenever it chooses to manifest. But you got to think before you speak. Have you ever heard some news? Have you ever faced a situation and you had a knee-jerk reaction to say and to do, but you decided to pause? You decided to reflect. You decided to look at it from a different perspective. Remember, when you change the way you look at something, the thing that you look at changes. When you step out of your framework and put yourself in the framework of someone else, looking through their lens, you have a different level of insight. And so after you've kind of wrestled with it in your mind, done some reflection, now you can begin to speak, because now your words aren't coming from an emotional space. They're coming from a thoughtful, reflective space, which is critically important if you plan on managing your emotions. The next one, once you're calm, then express your anger. Now, if you remember, we say this all the time, never share your feelings when you're in your feelings. Because as long as I'm sharing my feelings while I'm in my feelings, all you're going to hear are my emotions. You're not going to hear the content of what I'm saying. You're not going to hear my heart. You're going to hear my pain, my vitriol, my hatred, my disgust, my contempt, all of those different things. And so you will reject whatever message I give, not because of what I say, but possibly how I say it, right? Tonality, and my face, and my body language, and my energy, right? Remember, tonality is 23% or 27%, and your body language is 70% of your communication. So when you do that in the proper proportion, the conversation goes better. Listen, guys, you're watching the Couples Academy show. We're talking about what to do with your anger. Stay right there. We have more tips for you. Be right back.
Couples Academy is expanding its team to meet the growing demand of people in need of help around the world. So if you're a trained, licensed, or certified expert in marriage enrichment, infidelity recovery, sex therapy, life coaching, cognitive behavioral therapy, divorce mediation, financial coaching, or family therapy, contact us today.
Alrighty, guys, we're back. I wasn't sure, I didn't have any music, but we're back. You're watching the Couples Academy show. Let me just go to some of the family just to recognize you. Angel, Vashon, Miss Robbins, Cali Power Couple, Jaguar, Devlin, Leotha, Treetop, Arlene, Sean, Jarius, Mars Hunt, okay, and the list goes on and on. Gonzalez, Angel, good to see you all. Listen, we're talking about anger. We're talking about what it does to you. We're talking about what it does to others and how to begin to maintain that thing. There's a few comments, you know, guys, I read this in real time, so I don't even know what it says. But here we go. Angel says, I'm happy you're doing this subject. My NF, I don't know, help me, is a porn and sex addict and has cheated on me the whole time of 5 years. He was getting treatment through online and stopped and now relapsed. I could understand how that can make you extremely angry and how you have feelings that are not healthy. I get it. Cali Power Couple says, as a man, it was hard for me to control my anger, also being an ex-Navy SEAL, but I learned to be vulnerable, and that opened a huge door of peace. I'm gonna tell you something, that's real talk. We deal with a lot of military men, and a lot of men are hardened because they're trained that way. They have to be. They have to, in essence, suppress emotions or emotionally disconnect. Why? In order to be able to deal with the hardships of their reality. Now, I don't know if it's true. I mean, I watched the movies, never served in the military. But, you know, whether this is true or not, I was always told, you know, when you're out on that battlefield and you get letters coming in, I guess, you don't read them, you just disconnect. And so what happens is, if you've been trained that way for so long, going on one tour after another, then you come back home, back into the regular world, you're like, connect? What does that mean? How do we do that? I don't even understand that. So it's a process that you have to go through to get back to that place. Now, whether on a battlefield or not, many of us are not in touch with our emotions in a positive way, don't know how to properly manage it. And so that level of vulnerability, that level of really digging deep within yourself and processing your emotions is critically important. A lot more comments. Oh, Jaguar Rose, I appreciate you, sis. I see that, and I'm learning, I don't even know what this means, but I see $10 on here. I don't know what that means. I think you're from YouTube. Yes, I think you're a super fan, and so we appreciate you. And if you're on YouTube, please feel free to do that, because that contributes to the actual finances of what it takes to manage this show. Is more than what you think. My problem is that I never let the anger out. I held it in because I thought that was forgiveness. I tried to be patient and polite, no yelling, no lashing out, but the anger and pain grew. That is a powerful point. What you did, Jaguar, is that you suppressed your anger. So you were focused on what was coming out of your mouth and not what was harboring in your heart. And so the reality is, by suppressing and suppressing and suppressing and bottling it up, at some point there's an explosion. Think about a volcano. It erupts. Think about, listen, I have a can of water, right? If I shake this up enough and we're going through situations that make us feel like we're being shaken, at some point this thing opens up and the fizz just, it comes all out. It's all over our clothes, it's all over the table, it's all over the floor. And oftentimes that's what it's like when a person doesn't properly release their pain and emotions. Now, if you remember, we talked about this at some point. There's something called the power of accumulation, okay? Once again, the power of accumulation. If water accumulates to a large enough mass, it goes from being constructive to destructive, right? It can literally, the power of water, it can rip a house off of its foundation and have that house or that building or those cars floating right down the street. That's the power of accumulation. Now, that same amount of water, when it's properly filtered, it can be used to drink, it can be used to wash, it can be used to cook, it can be used to garden your lawn, it can be used to water your garden. Garden your lawn. It can be used in a multitude of different ways, but there's a releasing process, a filtering process. Think about electricity. Electricity powers lights, it powers machines. We need it in order to function and thrive in a society. But if it amasses to a large amount, it can become destructive and it can literally kill. And oftentimes we're allowing the anger to fester, and we're going through those stages of anger or levels of anger that I just showed you on that particular scale. Right? And so in essence, what are we doing? We're going from calm to annoyed to upset to frustrated to angry to furious, and boom, the reaction. Remember, rage is a high emotionalized, intensified feeling that forces you to do something with it. And it's either going to be constructive or destructive. And in many regards, it is destructive and it impacts everyone around us. And so you got to be really careful to do that. So what do we do with it? Let's go back into these points, okay? I mentioned before, once you're calm, then express your anger. Okay, woosah. All right, I'm back in a normal place. Now I want to share with you what was bothering me, but I can do it in a way that you can receive it. And now I feel good because I didn't pop off. I didn't lose my mind. I didn't go out of control. You know, we're more careful what we do in public than what we do in private, but even in the privacy of my own home, I maintain myself. And those little small victories consistently teach me a lesson subconsciously, and that is I can control it. Now, the next thing is, you gotta release the rage, right? Because even though I calmed down to have this conversation with you, to share with you what's on my mind, we've gotta begin to release the rage. Releasing the rage can be done in a multitude of ways. So you wanna hit that go into a ring and, you want to shadow box, or you want to hit that thing, right? Or maybe you want to exercise. You want to get that stuff out of your system, because when you exercise, you're releasing hormones and chemicals, and all of that toxicity is just released from you, right? You want to grab a bat and just start breaking stuff, because I'm enraged and I'm frustrated and I gotta get it out. And you better be glad that I'm swinging on this tree and not swinging on you. But then you also want to journal, right? You want to release it. You want to get your thoughts out, because as long as you have them in here, it will consume your mind and it will take over. But at least I can get the thought out and deal with this later, right? I can begin to meditate, because meditation calms me down and helps me to become one with my Creator. And when I'm vibrating on that God frequency, I am in a better place. I can pray. The Bible says, cast your cares upon Him, for His burden is easy and His yoke is light. So these are the things that you need to do in order to get to a better emotional space in your personal life. You got to be able to release the rage. Now, releasing the rage can be done proactively, and it can be done reactionary as well. Releasing the rage in a proactive stance means early in the morning, as I have my morning rituals, I will go through my techniques, right? I will go through my visualization. I will go through my affirmation. I will go through my prayer. I will journal. I will exercise. I will do all of those things. We call it the miracle morning, right? And in the miracle morning, there's something called lifesaver, right? Lifesaver, savor. The S stands for scribing, journaling, The A stands for affirmations, those positive affirmations, whether you're reading scripture or positive, affirmations about yourself that you're saying because you're teaching your subconscious mind. The V stands for visualization, that's imagination. The E stands for exercise, and the R stands for reading, right? As I begin to read, the better I get. When you do that proactively, it helps to release the rage. And in my anger, I use those techniques I just showed you to get back to a calm space. Listen, guys, I hope you're hearing me and taking these techniques serious. We got a couple more. We'll be right back. Stay right there.
Couples Academy is committed to serving couples around the world by reaching beyond cultural lines and language barriers. We are proud to announce that we now serve the Spanish-speaking community. So whether you're here in the United States or abroad, Couples Academy has a place for you.
Couples Academy se compromete a servir parejas de todo el mundo, superando las fronteras culturales y las barreras del idioma. Ahora, estamos orgullosos de anunciar que servimos a la comunidad de habla hispana. Entonces, ya sea que estés aquí en los Estados Unidos o en el extranjero, Couples Academy está aquí para servirle.
If you're a man and you have a pulse, then you need to join this program. You're a husband, you're a father, you're a leader. You have the weight of the world on your shoulders. You have to be everything for everyone, but do you know who and how to be for you? You're still in search of your own significance. You're in internal battle with your own vices. You're questioning, do I even know what it means to be a man? I know I'm supposed to be there for others, but what about me? The fact is, you need a model. You need a code to live by, a system of principles to govern your life. You need an internal compass to guide your every decision. You need the 4 securities to build your own kingdom. What you need is the Foundry. In short, a foundry is a facility where castings are produced by melting metal, pouring liquid metal into a mold, and then allowing it to solidify. Well, this is where we're testing the metal of men. Foundry is a 12-week men's-only coaching program. It is a brotherhood that will take each man through a purification process of the heart, mind, and soul. We here at Couples Academy promise you that if you give us 12 weeks of your life, you will no longer recognize it. If you care about the improving of your life, your marriage, and your family, register today.
Hey guys, we're back. We're talking about what we need to do with this anger. During the break, I realized, Jaguar, I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the show. Believe me, it will go to use. I think we not really talked about it. We show it, but there are ways to donate to the show, which allows us to get the message out to more people. You could donate to Cash App or Zelle or Venmo or PayPal. This pays for all of this equipment. This pays for the subscription. This pays for our ability to properly go beyond the borders of the United States into different parts of the world, because there's so many people who are struggling with marriage all over this planet and are looking for a way. So thank you for that. I appreciate you. We're talking about rage and anger and all of these feelings and emotions. I'm going to go to a couple more comments. Cali Power Couple says, I can relate to suppressing anger. It came out, which it allows to steer me into the affair. Anger can come in a great deal of flavors, additives, and preservatives. Wow, that's an excellent point. And it really reinforces what I was saying. It looks different from all types of people because based upon our personality, our Enneagram. Now you remember, Danielle talks about some people operate from the gut, some people operate from the heart, some people operate from the head. So anger may be more visible for certain and less visible for others. You got the external hurricane and the internal hurricane personality. External hurricane, the world knows that they're angry. Internal hurricane, nobody would ever know. But they deal with things in a passive-aggressive way. Nonetheless, we all are angry in some regard. So releasing the rage. Let's go to the next one, guys. Practice relaxation skills. Now, a lot of this is how you breathe. Right? Because think about it, when you're hyperventilating, What it says, breathe, calm down, breathe. Because once you can breathe and come in tune with your body, it puts you in a more relaxed state to be able to deal with whatever it is that you have to deal with. Also, likewise, a relaxation technique and skill is really relaxing your mind, because this mind is racing all the time. And we share with you that every thought that you think is a thought of the past or a thought of the future, and you're constantly going back and forth from past to future, past to future, past to future. And what that does is you miss now, you miss today, you miss the present. That's why people say, get present. I need you to be present. I need you to have full attention, not bring intention into this moment. Being present means getting out of your mind, because as long as you're in your mind, you're thinking about the past or the future. Remove those thoughts and be present. Calm down, get in a restful state, then begin to engage. Here's another powerful technique, guys. Problem solving. You know, interestingly enough, a lot of times when couples are in conflict, they're heated, they're emotional, they're yelling and fussing and cussing and screaming and doing all types of things. And there's nothing that can ever be productive in that state, ever. They spend so much time talking about the problem that there's never enough time or bandwidth to talk about the solution. After hours of a conversation, after days of fighting, when all of the emotions subside, and now you're talking again in a calm, peaceful state, you realize that, man, we spent all this time talking about the problem. I don't even know what the solution is. I can't even think. I have no clue what the solution is. So problem solving really takes on a different concept. So when we walk couples through a technique and a tool that we use to help them overcome conflict, to resolve conflict, it requires that you be solution-oriented in the way that you think. If you have a solution-oriented approach, you will get to a resolution quickly. Even when you're not in a conversation with someone else. Maybe you're having a conversation with yourself. Because a lot of times we're harboring and carrying this anger around whether our partner's with us or not. And we're so soaked and saturated, we're so reflective, we're so inundated with the problem that we never think about the solution. Well, the only way that you can think about solutions first is you gotta calm down your emotions and then shift gears into solution. Okay, how can I solve this problem? How can I bring about change? That is so critically important, because if you don't take the time to do that, you will always be trapped in where you are. And if you truly don't know what to do, find someone to partner with who can help guide you into what to do. That is why Couples Academy is here. We're here to serve you. We're here to help you get the solution that you need. We're here to help you turn things around. Because let me tell you something, at the end of the day, when we talk about the three things that we focus on, it's a three-pronged approach. It's your marital recovery. Of course, you want a better relationship. You came in most likely because of an affair. There's the affair recovery. Yep, we're going to do that. But then there's the ongoing individual recovery process. And the key to your marital restoration, you should be saying this by now, is your personal transformation. To be stuck in anger will ensure and guarantee that you'll never have the happiness and the fulfillment in your relationship that you are seeking. The problem is you're seeking with these physical eyes and not using your inner mental capacities, which we've talked about. We've talked about how we have 5 senses, but we have 6 mental capacities within us that will help us to become the best versions of ourselves. When you continue to work on you, you'll continue to see change in your relationship. It's just that simple, because you are the lowest common denominator in your relationship. And fine, well, it's his fault. He's the reason why. She did it first. All of that is irrelevant. It may be true, but it's irrelevant to the point of what you need to do to get to a better place. If everybody, think about it. My last point, think about being overweight, and you know you need to lose weight. And so you hire a great team. You got a dietitian, you got a fitness trainer, right? You got a psychologist or somebody who's going to talk to you about the emotional side of weight gain, and everybody's doing their part, but you don't. You're not disciplined. You don't eat right. You don't go to the gym. You skip on routines and practice. You just don't do your part. It doesn't matter what everyone else does. So fine, yes, your partner was the one who caused this anger in the first place. Let's assume for a second your partner's doing everything. If you do nothing, it's not going to work. It's just not. At the end of the day, it takes you. You have to step up. You have to do the work. And even though you don't feel like it, even though you rather your spouse do it all, your spouse can't keep you from doing what you have to do for yourself. So guys, how do you begin to manage the pain? By watching this video again, studying it, taking notes, implementing it, so that change can begin to take place in your life. If you do this, if you focus on this one single area, your anger, you'll begin to see different. You'll begin to experience different. You'll begin to engage in a different way. Guys, hope this was helpful for you. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow is relationship Q&A. We got the practitioners in the building, so it's going to be fun. But have a great day. Share this with your spouse, and we will see you in the AM. Take care.